Hello YouTubers and ham radio nerds. This is Max NG7M, and this might be interesting. Tonight I wanted to do a demo of the Utah Amateur Radio Club. They have a remote station actually in Leamington, Utah, and so this will be interesting. I'm going to try a CWT here, which will be starting here in just less than 3 minutes. And it's a 100-watt remote station with a G5RV up about 35 feet. And just quickly run down what we've got going here. I'm a member of the Utah Amateur Radio Club. I'm not really active, but I get to a few of the meetings now and then. Of course, with COVID, they're doing everything online, and they do a great job. The current club president is Morris Farmer, 87SR. And thumbs up to Gary KK7DV, who exchanged a number of emails with me. And then Morris, of course, got me activated to transmit on the remote station. They are using, I'm assuming Gary put everything together here, so Gary, add comments if I get this posted and give credit to the others that deserve the credit. But they're actually using remote ham software, the RCFORB client, which I have going. And let's see here, email from Gary. If you just Google UARC, Utah Amateur Radio Club HF Remote, you can find details on this. They've got a nice document on running it. Leamington, Utah, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, grew up here, and I don't know that I've ever heard of Leamington, but the station appears to be in a nice quiet location, so that'll be interesting. And it's south of Salt Lake City between Nephi and Delta, Utah, so out of the way, and directly west of Mount Pleasant, as you can see there. They also have a live webcam on too, which I'm not going to start here because I don't think we need it. And looks like I got about 1 minute and 15 seconds here. So what I have going here is I have the RCFORB client by Remote Hams. It's the latest alpha version. I don't think there's been very many updates to that. You can see I have installed that, and I searched for UARC, and you can see that the connection comes up there. I've set up, it's really cool, it has a virtual K3 interface. So the remote radio is a Kenwood TS480, SAT I assume, 100 watt, all band, all mode, kind of ubiquitous HF radio at this point. And it controls it, but it exposes a abstracted interface as an Elecraft K3 on my end. So you simply connect by double clicking here. Once you find it, and now we're going to connect, and I can of course hear the audio, but I haven't kicked that on you. And so we're about ready to go here. I'm going to kick on the audio, and we'll see how this goes. I may pause the video, but I'll try to work this for the duration and see how many stations I work. Total experiment. We'll see how it goes. So let's see. I just started the audio. You should be able to hear that now. I'm using skimmer spot so I can see other stations that are getting spotted. And I'm right on WF. I can also tune the radio with the up and down arrows with the interface to N1M. Maybe I'll do a little more commentary on N1MM after I finish. K4BAI, I know. See if you... I hear beer. He's in Georgia. So I just sent him exchange. So right off the bat, I called K4BAI one time with that G5RV, 100 watts down there. And so that's a good sign. So the exchange is your name and your CWT number. So K4BAI, I sent his name, John, and his number, which you'll be able to see up here. I'm not going to show that to you. So I sent my name, Max, Mike Alpha X-Ray, and my CWT number, which is 1201. Not a great number for CWTs. So now I can jump to the next station that's been spotted by the skimmers, and I can see if what I'd really like to do though is call CQ and see if we can drum up some business. So as you can see, I hit Control up and down arrow in N1M. It's jumping between this. Let's see if we can hear VE3NNT here. There he is. I'll call. Okay. He called a different N7 call. His name's Bob. 1-4. I'll call again. There you go. Les? So thank you. So his name is Les. So he heard me. This is cool. It's getting out. So you can still hear him in the bandpass. I mean, I'm not going to try to kill it here like it was my home station, but I'm going to go over to the interface there, and I can actually tune with the interface, and you'll see the frequency tune over here too, right, in N1M. But you know, we've got a couple stations in the log there, and I wanted to change the filter width. Let's go down to 400 hertz here. I'm assuming this radio doesn't have crystal filters, or it might have at some layer, but then it's doing the other filters with DSP. So let's jump down here. N5ZO is in California, and he's always running nice and quick. I'll send it. This is N5ZO, I can tell, and we'll call him soon as his name's Mark. He's working another station. He wants a number. I think he usually runs SO2R too. He worked it on. I've got it used to the lag. There's a little lag with the latency. His name's Marco. He might be sending Mark or Marco. I called him. There we go. 2, 2, 4. Then I'll send my report. Max 1, 2, 0, 1. And then he's calling another station. So cool. Hey, we're getting through it. I was worried that we wouldn't be able to break through if there's other stations calling. Bust the little mini pileups on some of the louder stations. I'm also used to a lower side tone, so I've got to keep in mind the TS480 set up for a higher side tone. Here's VE3DZ. I'll call him. Hey, Herbie. Yuri. His number's 21. Max. I'll send my CWT number. All right, we'll move on. See if we hear NT6X here. Well, this is... So we can still hear VE3DZ coming. So he's loud. I mean, the dynamic blocking range, the dynamic range blocking of this radio may not be as stellar as some of the other contest grade radios. I'm tempted to come up here and call CQ and see if we can drum up some business running. Now you can hear that the AGC is getting pumped by a strong station here. So I'm just tuning up the band here. Let's see who this is. According to the spot, it's K4NMR, but I don't think that's who it is. Oh, this is N380. Okay. I'm calling him. He's working another station. Working a guy named Steve there. I'll call him. Not hear him. I tuned up a little bit. Calling him. He's not hearing me. He's in Pennsylvania. N3AD. N380. And I'll call. He's not hearing me, so I'll move on. K5CM. His name's Connie. There's several guys calling him. $162, you can hear he sent his number. I'm also using a call history file here, so for the call signs the call history file has, it'll pre-populate the name and their CWT number. But I still obviously by ear need to copy what's going on. I'm actually gonna jump up a little higher and see if we can call CQ, see what I get, see what's up. I can also type in a frequency here in N1MM, and then you'll see that control the RC4 software, which will then in turn control the radio. So now we're on 7045. What I'm worried about is those strong stations pumping the HGC on this radio. Okay, I'm just gonna, I think I'm away, way far enough away. I'll do a quick QRL. So now I'm calling CQ. I should probably hit the tune button too on the radio to make sure the tuner is good. It looks like it's good on the remote radio. Antenna tuner. So now I've got a auto CQ repeat going. And you can see I got spotted by the skimmer servers. So I just got over here, you'll be able to see in the lower right, you'll see the skimmer servers that spotted from calling CQ. They can see that I'm on 7045.2 there. This depends on how loud I am. But if guys are looking at the spots, they might be able to find me. And this is a total experiment. I mean, if it's not fruitful calling CQ, like it would be on my home station, I'll start pouncing again. Was there somebody there? Okay, K2NO just called. I think that was K2NO. Oh, I didn't get his number. I didn't get his number. It was like 45 or something. So I'll move on. He probably moved on, thought I had copied that. Calling CQ. That call was not in the call history file. When I was talking, I couldn't get the so there's a K6. K7TQ calling me. Looks like he's in Idaho. Randy? So he doesn't have a CW ops number yet. That's why he sent his state. So you're welcome to operate in the CWTs. If you don't have a number yet, you can just send your state. That worked a couple guys calling CQ. Oh, I had to make that a little longer on the pause. Change the pause on the CQ repeat, about 2.4. Okay, W7SL just called me. Carl. Sent my name and number. Carl, 2557. Well, Yeah, this is doing all right. Now, if I can run here for a little bit, I'll probably pause the video and come back in 15-20 minutes. You can see where I'm at. So we've worked, what, 7 guys? And you can hear the latency with the network connection, internet. I think it's Wi-Fi to the remote base there, the remote HF station. By the way, I'm transmitting at about 35 words a minute. Oh, I think this is a good spot. I'm going to pause and I'll, time warp to, 15-20 minutes from now, and you can see how I'm doing. This contest goes for 1 hour. So I am going to pause the recording right now. Here's recording again. Just worked N2WK. I'm calling CQ. 26 minutes in, 27 minutes in. I actually switched over to the end-fed half-wave antenna. Seems to be doing better. Somebody. W8OV, I think, is who was calling. Yep. So I'm running stations. So I've worked big 15 stations, but hey, this is, for an experiment, this is kind of fun. I pounced around a little bit while I was paused there on the video and wasn't too fruitful, so I came up here and started calling CQ, and then I switched to the end-fed half-wave, and I've worked a few guys or gals. Okay. Oh, W9ILY called me. He's prolific in the CWTs. John. Sent my name and number. John. 471. And nobody's calling, so I'll call CQ. I think it's been better just calling CQ. It's kind of tricky getting used to the delay, the latency with the CW sending. I mean, you got that latency out to the remote. And there's probably some tuning we could do, I'm sure. I've got some pretty good signal strength spots from the skimmer servers in the west part of the United States, Midwest to west. Just calling CQ here. Just have the speed according to N1. Okay, this is, I thought I already worked him, VE3DZ, Yuri, but we'll work him again. He was calling fast. He must have copied my call wrong last time around. Just calling CQ. So now we're almost 30 minutes into the 1 hour little mini contest here. I may pause the video again and maybe come back in 15 minutes, see where I'm at. There's I think that was W6X. NT6X. I'll send it. See, you hit R for Roger, Mike, and then his number. It's tricky with the... Okay, ND9M just called me. We'll see if he sends Jim in 389. Yep, Jim, 389. N8 Echo Alpha. We'll see if it's Joe 725. Yep. Yep. And nobody's calling, and I'll call CQ. That was good. Got a couple, stations in there. N1MM over here shows you if I maintain that same rate, I'd get 120 in an hour. Because, I had, 3 guys call there pretty quickly, within a minute. Oh, there's somebody. I'll wait. N5 Victor Romeo. He was weak. I'm on the NFed halfway. Yeah, I think that was correct. Little AGC pumping there with a strong station, so did a little ESP on Stan and his number. K5 Victor Romeo. It's like full break-in is going on the radio. That might be something we could change, do semi-break-in. I don't know if that causes extra, latency across the wire. I doubt it. Oh, we've got 20 stations in the log. Hey, could be worse. This gives you an idea. If you don't have an HF station. Okay, N7WY called me. There's a couple guys calling. I'm sending my exchange. Bob, 1406. I think there's another guy waiting. That might be an AH. In Hawaii, Stan. Thank you. Stan, 179. Hello, DX, Hawaii. And I'll call CQ in. There's a couple. WT9A. I think it was WT9A. Might be W0 or WT0A. WT9U. Jim. I'll call CQ again. There was a couple guys there calling. I think they left though. Probably go on pause here. Do a little time warp again. Calling CQ. Okay, we're gonna. Oh, there's somebody. I think it. Yep. Alpha Alpha 4 November Papa. It's a little tricky with that pause. You hear Jim there? 1, 9, 5, 4. And nobody's there, so call CQ again. Okay, we're going on time warp here. Going on pause, right? Okay, I'm back. Hopefully the recording's going again. Got about 3.5 minutes left. I've worked a few stations running. I can't remember what I left off last. So I've worked 41 stations. I actually worked Cayman Islands, a ZF2 station. He must have a big station. So, that was a nice little DX contact there. But it's been pretty tough searching and pouncing. Seems to run better. Running, I'm doing better anyway. Works with guys that I've worked a lot before. N3RD, for example, AA3B, they're both in Pennsylvania. So I've actually found that antenna number 2 seems to work better, the NFED half wave, over the G5RV. Just my quick observation. Need to spend more time on that. Let's see if we can. I just worked K3JT, and let's see if we can tune down the band and see if we can find somebody else to work right before the end. N2IC. He's in New Mexico. There he is, Steve. 1790. He doesn't get on a lot, so it's nice to hear him on. Awesome CW operator, great CW operator. SO2R op down there in New Mexico. KL2A, if he's in Alaska. I've got a couple minutes here. That's N8UM, we've already worked him. KI6RRN, California, I believe. Yeah, you never know these days. Let's see if there's a K7RL. I'm calling him. That CW timing with the latency to the remote's kind of tricky. This is Mitch, K7RL. He's moving right along. I'll speed it up a little bit. There's a... Let's try to get this guy before it ends. We've got 45 seconds. There we go. Mitch, 2285. That'll be a good one to end it, more than likely. And looks like we're about done. Well, yeah, there's 5 seconds left. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the rig audio. A little more commentary here. So now the desktop audio is off. So I should have started a little sooner and explained a little more maybe what's going on in N7M. So, well, here's what we ended up with. We've got, I can make this a little bigger here. We worked, or I worked 43 stations. And hey, 1 hour on a first time remote here. I mean, if you're a UARC member, this is really cool. If you've never operated HF before, this gives you an idea of what you can do. And of course, I've done a lot of CW. I don't expect you to just sit down and be able to work CW like this. And it's pretty tricky here with the latency and the CW keying. But actually, I probably spent about an hour installing the software and, getting it connected up. Everything made sense. It was really cool to integrate it with N1MM, and you could see I had frequency control inside N1MM. It wasn't like I was over, you can reach over and twist, like you're twisting the dial with a mouse. So that's pretty cool. But hey, try something new. HF is a blast. You could hook this up and do the digital modes. That's all the craze. The FT modes. I've done a ton of that. FT8 and FT4. You could do sideband. It's going to be pretty tough with 100 watts on, with the antennas there. But it appears to be a quiet location. You've got 2 antennas to switch between. I found that NFED half wave to be the best for, the stations I was hearing. And hey, it's really cool, the work that Gary Crum has done, along with anybody else that's there. You know, what I do now is everybody goes to 3830 and they post their scores. So I would come here, and this was the 3830, the 300 Zulu, November 19th, because it's actually tomorrow. And so I would come here and I would post my score, right? So here, let's hurry and post this, NG7M. And I was at low power this time. I usually run high power. And I was not running SO2R. I worked for an hour. I'm in Utah. And what did I have a short memory. I worked 44 stations there on 40 meters. 44 stations. And that would be 44 multipliers. And the score was, where did that score window go? It must be covered up somewhere. Let's see, where did I put that? Oh, there we go. 1,849. So I covered that up. Okay, here we get back here. And so 1,849. I'm working the UARC HF remote in Leamington, Utah. Turkey at once. Just a little, I like to call it soapbox here. You know, thanks for finding me, working me. Max G7M. And so then I can compare myself to the other guys that have already posted their scores. And so I'm going to submit my score. What are the errors here? Low power, blah, blah, blah. I got the score wrong, apparently. Let's see here. Oh, 43 Qs. 43, not 44. That's what's wrong. Okay. This is an uncut, unedited video you're getting here, so let's see here. We'll submit that, and then we'll take a quick look at where I kind of stacked up. So then I can come over here to the listing. There's 3 of these every week on Wednesday. They do 3 one-hour sessions. And so now here you can see the high power operators. These guys doing SO2R, they'll do over 200 Qs consistently. You know, K3WW and AA3B, they're high power and SO2R. I can usually, you know, with my station, I'll usually get 130, 140 stations in an hour just working, you know, single VFO. So these are all the high power stations. We'll come down to the lower power stations, and we can find NG7M down here, right here. So, you know, I wasn't at the bottom, you know, using this little remote station. I was able to, let me just search for NG7M so then you can see it. Here we go. See, so here's the lower power station. So they've got 10. So here's the top 10. You know, you've got N4ZZ, lower power, he's probably got a big station. Gain-based beam, he did 167 QSOs. That's more than I've ever done with high power. Oh, he's running SO2R too, so he's doing, he's probably working 80 meters and 40 meters at the same time. And so top 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So hey, I'm in the top 50. So there you go. I mean, if you work a contest, always make sure and post your score on 3830. As far as, you know, uploading my log to Logbook of the World, I will actually upload it for the grid for Leamington, Utah. I hope I'm saying that right. And you can just export, you know, your log here to ADIF, and then import it into DXLab, DXKeeper, for example, and then, you know, digitally sign it and upload it to Logbook of the World. So, I mean, I don't know how long this video is going to end up being with my little time warps there, but I hope you found that interesting. It was a little frantic there at the beginning, but it was nice to work some guys, and you saw where I think I worked 3 or 4 guys there and within a minute, and that's fun when you start running stations like that. But a little tricky here, but it'll refine your operating skills. You get to learn about, you know, RF gain and, you know, your CW filter width and tuning up and down. You get to operate the radio here. That's a big difference between those digital modes. You know, the FT modes are great and interesting, but it's, to me, it's kind of a leapfrog into some of these other modes where you actually get to, you know, turn the dials or virtually turn the dials and learn how to operate a radio a little differently. You're dealing with QRM, other stations that are close by, and depending on how sensitive your receiver is or how what its dynamic blocking numbers are, you have to pick out those stations with other stations close to you in contest environment. So a lot of fun. Thanks again to UARC and the guys that set this up, KK7DV and Morris Farmer, 87SR, if I remember your call. Thanks for getting me entitled to transmit on the remote. And I hope to hear you on the air sometime. And maybe this video will end up in a UARC online meeting or something like that. We'll see. So 73 for now, and hope to hear about more guys using the UARC HF remote there. 73.